Hello and welcome. So, last week we, performed a ritual with Morrigan to help rebirth Earth, the god who is currently corrupted and leading the Darkspawn, and then we started the assault on Denerim to get rid of the Darkspawn and destroy the archdemon, ending the blight. And now we're off into the palace. Or Fort Drakon.
We must strike quickly.
Enough.
This is a waste of time. Yes.
Let's not have everyone get ahead of us.
As you say.
You want to die, do you?
Now let us end this.
Let's grab some glory.
Win quick.
Where shall I start?
How about you get up?
Of course.
Oh, damn it.
Yes. Flee while you can. This will not end well for you.
And great winds down.
Off I go. Of course. Right. Let us end this, shall we? On it.
As you wish. Oh, this should be good.
Of course.
I am your death.
Here I am. It will be done.
No, let's both get...
Where shall I start?
Damn it.
Will not end well. For you. So let's be. Yes. Begone!
All right.
There is no hope.
It's a gotcha!
Are you breathing smoke? You must be. Let us end this, shall we?
Let's grab some glory.
Off I go.
This part takes forever.
Well, yes, it does seem to take forever.
As you say.
Win.
I am ready.
Let's grab some glory.
There.
Let's have a... Death!
It will be done.
Well, that's one less to worry about.
Very well.
Yes. You have forced my hand.
We are victorious.
For the moment, at least. Intricate. Alright. Okay. And now we go into Fort Drakon. Don't have good memories from last time I was here, but you know, maybe we can forge some better ones. Well, looks like the guards made a good counting of themselves. Or maybe not so good, most of them are dead. Not the sitting room!
Paradise, watch over me. As you say. and well.
End this!
The best you.
Oh, this will be good. I am your
You really wish to be beaten by an old woman?
Now win, that's very ageist of you to say, also a little bit sexist. And what happened to all the siege engines that were in here?
What is that? A trap? I move quietly now. Yes. I will not falter.
I feel like it's good as
Of course. This will not end well. It will be done. It will be done.
Oh, they killed all the Mavari.
Very well. It will be done. Of course. Very well.
So it's a question you could ask. Like, okay, in this sort of situation, where we need to kill a particular thing, would we ignore all this stuff to the side? I mean, obviously we wouldn't be
course.
looting things, but not going into the side areas where there might be like enemies. Because, man, they could come up behind us, and that would be bad. But could also, dealing with them could delay us, so we can't get to where we're supposed to be in time. And here's Sandal, covered in blood and surrounded by dead darkspawn. And I'm really not sure about the portrayal of this character here. Hi.
Enchantment?
You're surrounded by darkspawn courses. What happened here?
Enchantment!
That wasn't really what I was looking for. That's...
Enchantment? Enchantment!
But apparently there isn't anything else we can actually... Well, I mean, could enchant those, but there's not really a point in that. Alright. On we go.
Of course. Very well.
Yeah, it's over there. I guess that might have been the point of the loot prior to this, but
Of course.
I mean, certainly we can go back, but it doesn't seem all that purposeful.
I shall be silent.
Hi, buddy.
This will not end well. Now you fall.
Oh, this is a nice place. Nothing here to fight. Thank you, game, for realizing that I actually can move up there.
I move quietly now.
Yes, I'll just pause in this to raid the barracks. Oh, that looks like fun. Oh, nice of you guys to just appear like that. Alright, let's...
These are vile and tainted creatures.
What do we have here?
Of course. Ow! Very well. You have forced my hand. As you say. This is a waste of time. Oh no, you don't!
And that was not a situation we should have logically survived. That was too many arrows pointed at us at once.
Yes.
There's a part of me that kind of feels like, you know, video games aren't realistic, and you can't really... Like, that sort of thing would not happen. That would be just death. Character, but there's also a thing of, well, if we died there, there wouldn't be a story. Alright.
I shall be silent.
Stay here.
It is some kind of trap. What is that? A trap? It is some kind of trap.
They want to make very sure that no one gets past here. Apparently not enough to move all those archers from here into this way, which would be even worse. There's a place to have to defend.
Of course. You have forced my hand. It will be done.
What? No, that was not what I wanted.
Watch over me.
Oh, this should be good.
Now!
You really wish to be
I will not fall.
on where you can.
Ooh, soul rock bomb. A very substantial instrument there.
As you say. It will be done. Very well. Die quickly! Yes.
Coffee and you pay. Now we're going to
Pay for that! As you say. It will be done.
Vaguely wonder what well, I suppose the king in this case is Alistair, so we know exactly what happens to all this stuff in the castle, but if he wasn't... Okay. Oh, thank you for saving...
As you
us
say.
all. Oh, wait, why is, like, everything valuable in the castle missing now?
As you say. It will be done.
We seem to be being loaded up on potions. I wonder why this is. Oh, right, and I was gonna buy a bunch of potions from Sandal. Alright, and off we go. To the rooftop.
It
Hi.
Let's grab some glory!
Okay.
yes. As you say.
That. What the hell just happened?
Be gone!
Down!
It will be done.
Let's grab some glory!
I am your
Let's have at it! Time to taste steel!
Very well.
Could not have done better.
Too easy. Lost me and you shall pay.
It will be done.
Right, let's go!
Of course. Very well. Be done. Of course. Fight, my brother. This is not over. Of course. It will be done. Now you fall.
All right, that's it!
It will be done.
Burn and run!
And then it was over. With the archdemon dead, the darkspawn horde quickly crumbled. Most fled back into the deep roads. They would remain a threat in the years to come, but the blight had been ended before it had truly begun. Fereldan had been saved, and the entire kingdom rose up to joyously greet its new king. The Grey Wardens stood redeemed, and a new age had begun. But at what cost?
My friends, we are gathered to celebrate those responsible for our victory. Of those who stood against the Darkspawn siege of Denerim, there is one in particular who deserves commendation. The one who led the final charge against the archdemon remains with us still, an inspiration to all he saved that day. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the hero of Fereldan, the first Grey Warden to defeat the Blight since Garahel 4 centuries ago. My friend, it is hard to imagine how you could have aided Fereldan more. I think it only appropriate that I return the favor. Is there any boon that you might request of Fereldan's king? If it is within my power, I will grant it.
I only ask that my people be aided against the Darkspawn, which...
Absolutely. The dwarves face the Darkspawn every day, don't they? Fereldan hereby offers its full military support to the new king of Orzammar, and will aid in reclaiming the deep roads. Let it also be known that the Arling of Amaranthine, once the land of Arl Howe, is now granted to the Grey Wardens. There they can rebuild, following the example of those who went before them. What are your plans? Will you remain with the Grey Wardens?
The Darkspawn are still a threat. The Grey Wardens need me. I mean, I do intend to find Morgan later, but... And I mean, I want to return to Orzammar, but... Yeah.
That they do. I'm glad one of us is staying with them at least. There's a group of Fereldan citizens waiting outside to get a look at their hero. I suggest you make at least a brief appearance before they storm the gate. Just tell the guard at the door when you're ready.
Yeah, so... One thing I was going to note is the use of ballista. Well, for one, I think ballista are probably, I think I mentioned this in the previous one, are more an ancient weapon rather than a medieval weapon. I think medieval at times have more relied on trebuchets. But I've also heard talk about how when facing off against large creatures like dragons, you don't necessarily want to like use swords and such because those are relatively small and aren't that much of a power multiplier as opposed to something like a ballista, which multiplies your power by a lot. Anyway, it also occurred to me that the story might want to be spun in order to, like, preserve the secret of the Grey Wardens and how they need to die in order to kill the archdemon is that to claim that Riordan is actually the one who killed the archdemon. And, just kind of fudge where exactly he died, because, chaos of battle and that such. But anyway, let's talk to a few people.
So, we made it. I'm impressed, aren't you? The odds were completely against one of us actually getting to the archdemon. But of course you would make it. I knew you would. I just don't understand how you're still alive. I guess Riordan was wrong?
You don't want to know.
You're probably right. Grey Wardens haven't arrived yet from Orlais. But they've already been sending questions. I guess it'll be a mystery. Speaking of mysteries, where did Morrigan go? She vanished right after the battle. No goodbyes or anything.
She doesn't want to be followed.
Very dramatic. I don't imagine she'd be easy to find if she didn't want to be. At any rate, I can see Arleman giving me that look. More king stuff, I suppose. It can never wait. And if I don't get the chance some other time, thanks. For everything.
This is hardly goodbye.
I know, but I'm king now. And that means things will change. I guess we'll see. I'll let you get to your adoring public. They want to see the hero of Fereldan, and who am I to keep them waiting?
That looks like Honora and her servant, though I can't actually speak to them. Eamon.
It is over. I can barely believe it. You stopped the civil war and then defeated the Blight. On behalf of Fereldan, allow me to say thank you. It truly cannot be said enough.
You're welcome.
It's too bad that you aren't remaining here in the capital. The hero of Fereldan would have influence, but I understand. Myself, I will be remaining here to help Alistair. Tegan will take over the rule of Redcliffe, at least for the time being. Connor seems well enough, and Isolde refuses to speak of what happened. She says she never wants to go back. I cannot thank you enough for saving them. They are the joy of my existence. Tell me, have you noticed anything strange about the lad? He seems quiet.
Consider what he's been through.
Ah, you are no doubt correct. It is my imagination, I am sure. But here I am rambling on. I shall let you get back to your celebration, Warden. Enjoy it while you can.
No, I can imagine the child having a 1,000-yard stare. I can also imagine there being a good reason for me to not be in the capital, because as a Grey Warden, I'm not supposed to get involved in politics, and being a dwarven royalty, I'd be very used to politics, and would probably have to resist the urge to, meddle, which I'm not supposed to do. Hey, Shale.
So it survived after all. My impression that all creatures made of flesh were hopelessly squishy was, premature.
You thought I would die, I suppose.
Well, it is going to die eventually. Just not right now. It has made me revise my opinion of its kind. My kind. I am, or at least was, a dwarf. A creature of flesh. I have to keep reminding myself that. In fact, I think I may even try to become one again.
Why would you want to?
There are advantages to being flesh. I think I would like to try. Wynne has offered to accompany me to Tevinter to speak with the mages there. The Circle of Minrathrus has the largest collection of arcane knowledge in Thedas. If it is possible to reverse this process, then the knowledge to do so will be there, or that is my hope. And if not, then I will keep looking. I have nothing if not time, yes?
could come with you, but I don't really think that's an option, given as I'm probably going to need to be helping to run the Arling of Amaranthing thing. Then good luck.
I intend to return eventually, unless I finally decide to destroy all pigeons everywhere. That may take a while, but otherwise I will come back. If it happens to one day see a tiny little dwarf who appears very nervous of being squished, that will be me. Until then, I wish it well. You have been a fine friend.
Thank you. Wait. Gorm is back to wearing armor. What is this? Hi.
Ah, glorious! You've really showed these humans something. Took down the Blight practically single-handed.
What are you doing here?
I'm not just here to witness the whole human spectacle, however. The Assembly contacted me with a message for you. I guess they figured once a manservant, always a manservant. Ah, I don't mind. Thing is, we've both been given leave to return to Orzammar.
What do you mean? I mean, I think I've already been reinstated, so...
Seems your brother's mighty grateful for what you did. We've been restored to House Iduken. Full rights and everything. Not only that, but the Assembly is considering naming you a Paragon. A Paragon. In our time.
So I'm an Aduken again.
As am I. And if you become a Paragon, that will make you the only one alive by my count. Not a bad change from an exiled murderer, no? Congratulations, my friend. You think you might head back home? To put House Iduken in order, if nothing else.
Except a Paragon starts a new house, based on their first name, so I'd be the first of a new house. But we'll see. I have things to do first.
Well, I hope you manage it. I'll be happy to take up my old position, if you'll have me. At any rate, I'll let the humans get back to their dwarf worship. Still makes me smile to hear them talk.
Hey, Liliana.
So here we are. The conquering hero has won the day, and now he takes his bow and exits the stage. A fine ending.
You know, I really don't think that medieval garments could generally do that, at least not with having a belt right there. But this isn't a play.
Isn't it? We had danger, we had victory, and many characters. Truly, I could not have borne witness to a better play had it been on a stage. You know, I can't help now but think of my vision. The Maker sent me to help you, and look what you did. It's a miracle. It truly is. I've been asked by the Chantry to return to the Urn of Sacred Ashes. I need to make sure it's protected. Maybe pilgrims can even begin going there again.
Congratulations, sounds like fun.
I expect to leave a month from now with a small army of Templars and priests. It will be a grand adventure of my very own. I'm looking forward to it. At any rate, you should get back to the celebration. We can speak another time.
Win.
The hero of Fereldan. My. How does it feel?
It's a little strange.
Of that I have no doubt. It's a title you'll be wearing for a long time to come, just as Loghain wore his. But it's not so bad, is it? A blight defeated with the other nations barely becoming aware. Who could ask for better?
Absolutely true.
I'm glad not to be on the receiving end of all this attention myself. I say, let the young have their fame. Not that I've gone without notice. Irving asked me to take over as first enchanter, but I don't wish to go back. Not after all this. Instead, I've decided to travel. Shale has expressed a desire to go to Devinter to look into a way to regain her mortality. And I will join her.
Actually, I was kind of curious how they're just willing to let mages go, though I suppose it might depend on which mages and whether or not they trust them. But what about your problem?
It's true, I don't know how much time I have. Maybe not very long at all. So, I shall see as much of the world as the Maker allows. Perhaps this is a gift in the end. A nudge in the right direction? I doubt we will meet again, young man. If not, please accept my best wishes.
This question, how much of the world she can see on a trip to Devinter. One of the things that interests me is, like, usually water travel is generally faster than anything else you could do. So one of the things they could do is get on a boat and travel around the coast to Tevinter. Admittedly, this would mean that they wouldn't be going past Orlais or Navarra, but they could potentially have stops in the Free Marches, as Antiva, Rivain, and go through the potentially dangerous waters around Saharan and Parvalin, and before they get to Devinter, they would also miss the Anderfells. Alright, Zevran, hello.
I will be relieved when all this pomp and ceremony is done. Such events are perfect opportunities for assassins, after all. I can't help but expect the crows to appear at any moment, which would be a welcome break, mind you.
You think the crows will still come after you?
Eventually. With Taliesin dead, it may take them time to figure out what has happened, but they are like the tides, predictable. You know, it does occur to me that staying in one place is only going to invite the crows to find me that much quicker. While fun, that might eventually get complicated. You said earlier that you were planning on returning to the Grey Warden fold soon. Is that true?
Why, are you thinking of joining? That is questions whether or not that would put him outside of their range.
A Grey Warden? Me? Oh, no. There are some bodily fluids even I won't touch. The Grey Wardens seem to be a fun bunch to hang around, however. Maybe they won't mind a resident assassin. I'm an excellent mascot.
I'd be happy for the company.
And I promise not to get you into too much trouble. Well, no more than you get me into, anyhow. Well then, since we're going to be leaving together, we can speak after you have been sufficiently paraded in front of the populace. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on you and make sure no one gets a clear shot. Not without paying me a great deal of coin, anyhow.
Ogren. Alright, I'm gonna save.
Humans have a better taste for spirits than I thought. The ale up here is actually good. Orzammar ale tastes like dirt in comparison. Probably because they put dirt in it. Go figure.
Yeah, that is a question. What exactly would they be fermenting to make their ale? And what they'd be eating generally? I think I went into this, like, basically there doesn't look to be any place where they could make food in, like, eat in the underground. And yeah. And how exactly did it survive the, like, 8,000 year rule of the elves who were not friendly towards them? Think you might go back to Orzammar?
I don't know. Maybe eventually. I'm getting used to that big sky up there. And I'm thinking I might just look up Felsi again. See where that goes.
Wait, that isn't her right there? What? I thought that... Isn't that Felsi right there? Dude, what? What? Alright. I'm glad. I hope you two are happy.
Ha! I'll drink to that. Ah, well, enough babbling. That pot-bellied son of a whore Tegan said I'd pass out before drinking an entire barrel of pickle juice. I aim to prove him wrong.
Pickle juice. I mean, there are times when pickle juice does actually taste good. This is usually when you're thoroughly dehydrated. But that still would be like drinking an entire barrel of it. I'll leave you to that.
Been good traveling with you, Warden. Don't get lost in the shuffle now.
That looks like Felsi. What? Okay. I can't talk to Jory. And what the heck? What kind of dog is that? I mean, look in comparison to Jory here. It's surprising those are technically the same species, though. I mean, you could look at Mastiffs, Great Danes, and other things, like massive dogs like that, as compared to like toy poodles and chihuahuas, and you can be surprised that those are the same species. And I mean, it's possible they technically can't directly reproduce with each other at this point, but still, it's surprising how much plasticity there is in the species. Sten, hey.
It is good to see you again, Kadan. These people, they call you hero. It is a strange word, but I think I understand its meaning. The Arishok on occasion has declared a Kunari to be Kunoran Vel, one who serves as an example to others. Such examples are always made after their death, however, a death in service to the Kyun. A living Kunoran Vel would be too proud.
You don't know the word posthumously? Do the Kunari celebrate and put on parades?
When a Kunoran Vel is declared, certainly. It is one of few occasions when the Kunari are permitted to engage in revelry. There is imbibing of spirits, public chanting, meditations abandoned. It is madness.
That would be quite a sight.
It is interesting. It can take days for the Ben Hasrath to restore order. There may even be executions. I suppose I should tell you. I have decided to return to my people. Your quest is done, and thus so is my reason for accompanying you.
Darkspawn are still a threat, but they aren't as much anymore. And you have a lot of information about the Darkspawn now, and also about the Grey Wardens, but yeah, I'd be very curious to see if like a larger scale blight happened, what would the Kunari do? Or like, if this had gotten out of hand, what would the Kunari have done? That would be a long trip home.
Yes. It will be difficult to travel alone, after so much time spent with companions. It must be said, you found my sword and gave me a chance to restore my honor. I owe you a great debt.
You helped me as well, it's been good.
It has. That one of the Baz, a foreigner, would become known as Kadan to me. Unthinkable. Yet here it is. Perhaps I shall see you again one day. Until then, may you always find the path you seek. Farewell, Kadan.
Alright, I have talked with everyone. And now...
Are you ready, my lord? The crowds outside are getting restless.
Restless? What am I supposed to do? Well, actually, I'd probably know what I'm supposed to do, because I've probably been paraded around in front of people before. And, you know, people who had less reason to actually celebrate me.
Right. I'll take you there now. Follow me.
In the months that followed his coronation, Alistair proved to be a popular king, if largely unwilling to involve himself in matters of governing. He traveled often, making appearances in towns throughout Fereldan. To the great delight of commoners, they referred to him as a king with the common touch, even if you knew it was a simple aversion to life at court. News that the Urn of Sacred Ashes had been found in Fereldan did not spread outside the Chantry until Brother John TV made an announcement several months after the defeat of the Darkspawn. The manuscript detailing his research and his experience with Andraste's cult drew huge interest among scholars throughout Thedas. Some years later, the Chantry announced that the resting place of Andraste's ashes had indeed been found. A ripple of excitement spread among the pious of Thedas, with many undertaking pilgrimages to see the ashes or partake of their healing powers. How many can actually partake of those healing powers? There's a limited amount of ashes. Following months of effort, the Circle of Magi was finally cleansed of the last spirits to slip through the veil. No further abominations were created, and the first Enchanter Irving was pleased to declare the circle safe. All that could be saved had been. With the slavers shut down the alienage, a lot of city-born elves improved for a time. The new king even named their local elder to his personal court, a scandal amongst the humans, but a sign of hope to the elves. Shiani continued to be an outspoken member of the alienage community, and in time became the new elder. That outspokenness earned her frequent trouble, but served her people well. Arl Eamon remained in Denerim for a time, acting as Chancellor and Chief Advisor to King Alistair. Tegan ruled over Redcliffe in his stead, and was surprised to find himself well loved by the villagers, who were still grateful for the nights he spent defending their lives. In time, Eamon abdicated in favor of his brother, an event the locals greeted with approval and enthusiasm. The tavern at Redcliffe Village, now run by Bella, was renamed the Grey Warden's Rest. It echoes with tales of how the hero Fereldan saved the village and healed Arl Eamon with the sacred ashes of Andraste. Few believe that such tall tales could possibly be true. The Dalish elves prospered after the siege of Denerim, having earned much respect for their part in the battle. For once, human lands welcomed the wandering folk. The new keeper, Lanaya, was respected amongst the Dalish as well as in the Fereldan court. She was a voice of reason, and other Dalish clans would turn to her to help resolve disputes with human folk. In time, many of the Dalish clans moved to the new land provided for them in the south near Ostagar. Wary of their human neighbors, however, tensions soon arose again, and only keeper Lanaya's leadership kept peace alive. In Orzammar, King Balin quickly proved himself a reformer. Trade with the surface increased, and caste restrictions were loosened. The casteless were permitted to take arms against the Darkspawn in exchange for new freedoms. For the first time in generations, the line in the deep roads was pushed back, and a few taigs were claimed. Balin's reform quickly found him enemies with the warrior noble caste, however, and after several assassination attempts, the assembly was dissolved. The king ruled alone, some say as a tyrant, others said as a visionary determined to drag Orzammar into the modern world. Could be both. The assembly unanimously declared Duran a living paragon. Wait, weren't they eventually dissolved. Following months of deliberation, a new statue was erected in the Commons, and a new house founded in the paragon's name, quickly drawing a great number of followers from every caste. The Dwarven mage, Dagna, ultimately completed her studies at the rebuilt Circle Tower on the surface. Eventually, she published a comprehensive theory on how lyrium vapors relate to the supply of magic. It gained a great deal of attention. This inspired mages from other parts of Thedas to establish a new Circle of Magi in Orzammar itself, one that had ready access to Dwarven lyrium and lies outside the Chantry's power completely. The willingness of Orzammar to harbor apostates sparked outrage that began whispers that the Divine was contemplating a new exalted march. That could be bad. I mean, on the one hand, I can see the dwarves taking kind of the Grey Warden approach towards magic, because they fight the Darkspawn constantly. Whatever works. But there's also the issue of pissing off the Divine and getting a new exalted march. I mean, they might have a lot of difficulty getting into Orzammar, but the siege, they could pretty much just cut off of all trade to Orzammar, and, well, as I have mentioned, there doesn't look to be much in the way of like fields or food production in the deep roads. They could just starve them out. Excuse me. It was not long before Bronca mastered Caridin's technique, so I'm not the only paragon alive right now, learning how to use the Anvil of the Void to create new golems, the first in many centuries. The Dwarven people greeted this news with cheers, though few knew the cost. At first, King Balin worked eagerly with Bronca to provide subjects willing or not, so that the golems could push the Darkspawn back. This arrangement was not to last, however. Before long, Bronca began to refuse to create golems only for the king, who soon banned use of the anvil. His men attacked Bronca's fortress in the deep roads, forcing her to shut it tight. Years into the siege, Balin was forced to relent. The fortress, guarded by Bronca's golems, remained impenetrable. So basically just traded Caridin, who wasn't willing to make more golems, for Bronca, who isn't willing to make more golems. As good as her word, Morgan disappeared once the archdemon was slain. Someone of Morgan's description was seen traveling alone months later, headed west through the Frostback Mountains. She may even have been with child. There was no word of her after that. With Plymouth dead, or at least gone, the chances of tracking her down were slim indeed. One cannot help but wonder, however, what became of the child. What were Morgan's plans? These questions remain a mystery for now. The companions who had travelled with Duran eventually scattered to the four winds, drawn either by personal duty or the call to further adventure. The Grey Wardens welcomed their hero back into the fold, even if the suspicions of those who wondered how Duran managed to survive were sometimes given quiet voice. Hey, as I said, just claim it was Riordan who struck the killing blow, even if that's a lie. As the blighted lands began to heal and the Grey Wardens slowly rebuilt the Order in Amaranthine, they discovered that the fight against the Horde was not yet complete. Although the Horde was routed and had dissolved upon the Archdemon's death, many of the more powerful Darkspawn survived to organize roving warbands that preyed both upon the land and upon each other. Yeah, that is a question as to how such orders are maintained, how they're supplied and funded. And it seems like there are a number of different ways this could be. One is, like in this case, they are granted a fief within a realm, and they just use taxes from that to supply and fund themselves. Another possibility is they could be given rights within a realm to collect taxes, like certain taxes on certain things, and that could be how they were funded. And another being donations, at which point they will probably have some who spend most of their time just asking the rich for donations, and possibly also ending up having to do favors for these wealthy people, which could end up getting them involved in politics, which would be bad. But then again, collecting taxes is also political. Ruling a fief is also political. These warbands spread havoc, and some even journeyed west to Orlais or crossed the shining sea by the deep roads. They proved incredibly difficult to wipe out. So the deep roads actually pass under the sea? That's interesting. Also rather dangerous. Even as, if water gets in, they'll just flood the lower levels. Oh, right. That was another thing I was thinking. Is that I feel like part of the thing that with the speech before they entered into battle, attacking Darkspawn Horde and Denerim, I feel like Duran would probably have wanted to add something about trying to kill as many of them as possible, because as he'd know very well that whatever they didn't kill here and now would just go into the deep roads and cause problems for the dwarves. And apparently they will also just stay on the surface and cause problems. But these tales are yet to be told. This tale ended when Duran sank his blade into the archdemon's head and destroyed it forever. It was not the last that Fereldan would hear of him, however. Oh, right, that's another thing. Why exactly did Duran pick up the two-handed sword? There's nothing that says he has to use his two-handed sword to kill the thing. I mean, as much as that's arguably impressive, but he wouldn't know how to use the thing. And that animation is there no matter who's doing that. You can even have a mage who's never picked up blade, and they grab the two-handed sword, use it to kill the archdemon. And that'll be it for this one. Thank you for watching. Do any relevant things with YouTube's buttons, and have a nice day.